In this video, we'll be looking at how to plot and indicate inequalities on a graph. So that is shading regions, certain regions on a x and y axis. All right. So let's see. This question is saying one equation is y is 12 plus 4x, and another is a quadratic equation. We've been asked to sketch this graph. So it will look something like so. Sketch means doesn't have to be perfect. This intercept here is 12. Y-intercept is 12 and x is 0. Now, part A is saying find the coordinates of intersection points, and then hence write for which values x squared is less than 12 plus 4x. So that's just saying this line 2, if you think about it, line 2 is less than line 1. That means the values of x. Let's just focus on part A first and find what those coordinates of intersection is, because that would help us to talk about part B later. So just solving these two, this set y to y means setting x squared equals to 4x plus 12. Just bring them all to one side, make the equation equal to 0. Quadratic needs to be equal to 0 when we're solving them. So factorize it, and you get one value of x is 6 and the other value is negative 2. So now we know that this point on the left is a minus 2, because that's the smaller x value, and the larger x value is 6. Now that we know what x coordinates are, you could think of this inequality, rewrite it like x squared less than 4x plus 12 here. You could say that I'm looking for this inequality. I can subtract x squared on both sides. So it would be minus x squared plus 4x plus 12 is bigger than 0. So then if you think about it, x, right, because it's a sad face, we're looking for this section. So any x value between these two, minus 2 and 6, will take us above. This represents y. So we're looking for y values is above x-axis, right? So x values need to be between these two. X value will be less than 6 and bigger than minus 2. Alright, so if you consider the blue line and the red line, this is saying that where the blue line is the L2, right? Where the blue line is below the red line. That's what it means. So the region that they want us to shade is this section here. Alright. So but part B is saying write down the solution. So you would say x dot dot, use set notation, x dot dot, x is between 6 and minus 2. Close the curly bracket. So like so. You do need to give the y coordinates when you find the points of intersection. So make sure you substitute x back into the linear line and you find the coordinates. So uh, part B is like so. I showed you how to answer part B. Just part A needed to find the y values as well. Now there are some practice questions here. You can do these questions, and then I'm just going to show you how to plot regions on the graph in this video as well. So sketching inequalities. Here we know that, as I said, there is a difference when you have equality with the inequality or not. Here you see underlining. It means that y could be equal to as well as less than f of x. Here y couldn't be equal to f of x. That's why we are using dotted line, okay, or dashed. Okay, dashed line is used when you don't have a equality. Okay, when is used when we don't have a, I've written it down here, is not included. Okay, so when we don't have, all right, that is these we don't have it. All right, here we do. On the right side, you if you do have equality, you use a solid line. All right, so this is not dashed, so you call it dashed or dotted. It's the same thing. Here is a solid line because y could be equal to that graph. Now, when it's equal to, so the question was saying y is less than that x squared plus 4. So that's why we shaded below that y values. Now we don't know what their range is for x, but the point is that you shade below the graph. That's the point. Here we shaded above the graph because y was bigger than x squared plus 4. Alright, f of x here is this dash dotted line is x squared plus 4, and we shaded above it, okay, because y was bigger than. That's what, when y is bigger than, you shade above it. When y is less than, you shade below it. Alright, so we're going to identify certain region that satisfies all these four inequalities on x and y axis. So first of all, you're gonna have to plot. This is from like IGCC, GCC material, but I'll tell you this again. Y first you plot where is the line y equals to minus 2, because it does have equality sign with it. You're gonna use a solid line for this, okay? Solid line for this. And for this line here, when you plot this line, when you use this solid line, when you're plotting these two lines here, all right, I'm gonna indicate them. With these two lines, because there is no equality sign, use dashed line, okay, or a dotted line. So let's see what the graphs look like. You're going to, this is the y, first one, y equals to minus 2. So we're going to take a region above this line. So we're going to do the shading in a minute after we plotted all of them. So because y value is bigger than minus 2 means above, y is bigger than means y above it. So let's plot x less than 5. So first you're going to find the value of 5 here somewhere, and then you're going to use a dotted line, all right, like so. Let's say 5 is here, and then you're going to say to the left of this, all right, this is x equals to 5, and then I'm using a dotted line because x cannot be equal to it. So any value, actually you can go all these, all right, all this region. I don't know where to stop because I don't know the other, I haven't plotted the rest. Now I'm going to use a different color here. Then next line is y equal to 3x plus 2. So I'm going to go find plus 2 there, that's the intercept, and say, because the gradient is 3, for every unit I go across, I have to go 3 units up. So what's 2 plus 3 is going to be a 5. So at some point, uh, 1 across, if I go 1 across, I'm not drawing this accurately, it's a sketch, but when I go 1 across, I need to have moved 3 units up. This triangle has to be 1 across and 3 up, like so. It's a plus 3, so it's going to the right and up. If it was minus 3, it would go to the right and down 3 units up. It's going up like so. So that's the green line there. Now we want y values to be below it. So it's a solid line, and I'm gonna shade below this region, okay, below this graph. All right, so below this line, all right, all of this. So I'm bounded by this region for now. And once I plot the last one, it says x has to be strictly positive. So I'm gonna use a purple line for this last line. X is strictly positive, is positive to the right of the y-axis. So actually I need to have plotted the dotted line on the y-axis, and I'm gonna shade again, but I'm gonna stop. So this purple region is where it satisfies all four inequalities are satisfied. All right. So the purple region should be your final answer. Okay. So you can rub off my. Take all of this off, and you'll see there. It's I almost used the same colors randomly. Okay, I didn't even know what color to use. This is just random chance. Okay, so that's the trapezium that we had in just the gradient was different. Alright, so let's look at another inequality. In this case, we rearrange our equation here. So we get, when you want to plot this line, you can do this. I showed you how to find x and y intercept. You say y-intercept is where x is equal to 0. So y would be less than or equal to 7. So in any case, you would cross the y-axis at 7, and you find the x-intercept is setting y equals to 0. When y is 0, x would be equal to 14. I know it's not in equality, but I'm just trying to find the graph first. So it would have to cross at 7 and 14, but I'm going to use a dotted line here because the, there is no equality here. Then you say, actually, if I rearrange this equation, 2y has to be less than 14 minus x. Dividing by 2, still y is less than. So I need to shade the region below because y is less than. So I would shade below this line here, this dotted, right? And then you plot the quadratic here. If I solve this, try to factorize it, we have minus 4 plus 1 inside the bracket. So x would be a positive 4 and x would be a minus 1. So then I say, alright, this quadratic has to go through these points here. This is, let's say that's minus 1 and 4. It's not proportional, alright. Let's put 4 a little bit to the left. So this quadratic, I'm gonna use another dotted line. Let's use a different color. Alright, so this again, it's gonna be a smiley face because we have x squared here, but y now, y is bigger than this definition. So that means go find the region above the curve, the red curve. Y is bigger than, all right? Y is bigger than. So that's the region they want you to find, to shade. Now you don't have to find intersection points if they don't ask you to. It's just asking you to sketch. So that's another way of doing it. All right. So that's this section of the work. I hope you found this helpful. I'll see you in the next section.